What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Larissa and this is my channel focusing on modeling lifestyle, modeling tips, and travel. So recently I went to Thailand and all I heard before I went is how cheap it is. Cheap, right? And all that is fine and dandy except for the fact that it doesn't actually give you a detailed list of what you can expect in terms of spending. I went to Thailand for 2 weeks recently, and I kept a very detailed list of what I spent. Now, when I travel, I'm not really a full-timer or anything like that, so I really like to think of myself as like mid-level traveling. I know there's luxury and there's channels for that, and that's fine. And then there's also backpacking. And I'm not really there either. I'm somewhere in between. So I really enjoy the finer things, but I don't necessarily miss out on just overspending for luxury hotels that are just, the price tag can just like knock your socks off. So anyways, like I said, I broke it down into 4 categories of what I spent in my 2 weeks. I have accommodations, which is hotels, transportations, which is flights, buses, taxis, planes, trains, blah 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 in the country, food, and excursions. So if you want to go ahead and click to one section, I'll leave the timestamps below. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Alright, so we are here at the airport. I'm just trying to get some stretching in before this hideously long flight. And it's so funny because Bree went to go get some snacks from the store, and I was like, I already have my priorities set straight because this is my snack bag. Meanwhile, she's like, I was focusing on like a first aid kit and bug spray. And I was like, I have snacks.
So for category 1, I want to talk to you guys about transportation. When I say transportation, I mean planes, trains, flights, cars, automobiles, all that good stuff. So obviously we had to take a very, very long flight to get to Thailand from LA. That one totaled up to be 16 hours of flying. We flew Singapore Airlines. It was a pretty solid experience, I would say. It's the longest I've ever been on a plane, and I mean, to be honest with you guys, I took some melatonin and I can't complain. I took some melatonin, watched some movies, and it ended up being alright. I was definitely worried about that flight though. But once we got there, as I mentioned already, we landed in Bangkok. So when you are in Bangkok, Thailand is actually a bigger country than you and I might have realized, and so it takes a while to get from destination to destination, and I knew that I wanted our first city to be Chiang Mai. Now Chiang Mai is up in the northern region of Thailand, and it would have taken like, I don't know, hours and hours to get there by train, and definitely wasn't driving that. So instead of using a lot of our time to get places by train, Bree and I decided that we were just gonna fly. So we landed in Bangkok and then took our time there and went from there flying back up to Chiang Mai, which was like an hour flight. And then we flew from Chiang Mai all the way down to Phuket, which is an island, so had to fly there anyways. And then ended our trip with flying back from Phuket to Bangkok to then fly back to Los Angeles. So as you can imagine, we tracked a lot of air miles in this time period. And that's a total of 3 flights. So I'll give you a cost breakdown of those at the end of this segment. I also wanted to say before I ended this part that it's a fantastic investment to download the Grab app. That's G-R-A-B, Grab. In Thailand, it's the equivalent of Uber, but instead of having to put in a card, you can still pay the drivers with cash, and that will save you a lot, because the differences between what the transport that the hotel wanted to arrange versus what a Grab was charging to get around Chiang Mai and then also in Phuket was a huge difference. I'm talking like 900 baht versus like 90 baht. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but essentially it was a really big difference. So that is an important thing to note. Okay, let's talk accommodation. So during our 2 weeks in Thailand, we stayed in 3 hotels, one in Bangkok, one in Chiang Mai, which is up in the northern part of Thailand, and one in Phuket, which is an island down in the southern part of Thailand. So the first one, as you already saw, was a hotel specifically for the Test and Go program. Hey, guess what? We are here in Thailand and we have started
Our quarantine process. You're in it, by the way.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you're supposed to warn me.
I didn't even
You're
warn you.
supposed to
I didn't even warn her. Anyways, so we just got to Thailand and we landed in Bangkok like maybe 3 hours ago, and we started our process of getting into the country, which includes like your regular customs process of just like, you know, showing your passport and your declaration of items and all that other stuff. And also, there's extra added difficulty because you have to go through the Thailand Test and Go program as of today. At the point of me releasing this video, I'm not sure if they're still doing that, but essentially what it was you had to stay in an approved hotel for one night while you waited for the results of your COVID test that you took as soon as you got into the country. And that was in April when we had to do that part of our travel. So we stayed there for one night and then immediately went from there up to Chiang Mai, like I said, in the northern province, and stayed at a hotel called Amata Lana Village. That hotel was really cool, really nice. We were with this lady named Yumi. She was the front desk agent, and she was super, super sweet and helped us really was really accommodating and helped us check in. And also the next hotel we stayed in was in Phuket, was called the Dusit Thani. That one was actually a resort, and it had beach access and a really cool pool. It was kind of a family hotel, but it was still really nice, and it was in the Bang Tao area of Phuket, which is about 45 minutes away from the more popular Tong beach, but it was still like really really nice, really resorty, and was a great time. So for our next category, we're going to talk about food. I feel like I get way too excited when I talk about food. Does anyone else feel like that? Anyways, so obviously if you're in Thailand, it is imperative that you eat Thai food. One of the most fun things to do, which is an activity as well as a means of eating food, is going to the night markets. So we definitely frequented a few of those night markets and tried different foods, and they are so cheap, you guys. This is what I feel like people are talking about when they say like Thailand is so cheap, because I feel like I got like a smorgasbord of food at both the night markets we went to. One in Chiang Mai, the first night we were there. Is can't see it, it's so dark. A pad thai, pad siu with shrimp. Okay, and we got some, it's called like dumplings?
Chicken pot stickers.
Chicken pot stickers, and I'm gonna try some beef skewer meat from the barbecue guys over there. Staying hydrated. I think these are shrimp. It's literally like just shrimp inside of the shell. Very few veggies. Could do for more soy sauce. That's really good. A little spicy. Noodles are a little doughy, huh?
I know.
One in Phuket, the Sunday walking, I think it's called the Sunday walking market, Sunday walking night market, something like that. But it's in Old Town Phuket, and it was fantastic. I tried so many different foods and even have a little video on my Instagram of going to the night market, so go check that out if you feel like it. Also, I'm definitely not gonna lie to you guys, we definitely had some Western food while we were there. It kind of felt like, I don't know about you guys, but after 2 weeks of being anywhere, I'm not really dying to eat the same single meal every single day. So, we switched it up. We got some pizza by the resort that we were staying at. We also got some sushi in the town, like in the little Bang Tao beach area. And all those foods were really good as well. But just know that when you get those, obviously the price tag is going to be a lot higher because it's not the natural food of the area. Okay, and
now I want to talk about the excursions. We did 6 different day tours. For the majority, like 4 out of the 6 were like guided. So we went with a guide and had like a tour company would come pick us up from the hotel, and obviously your transportation is included, your day out, whatever you're doing is included, and oftentimes there's like a lunch or snacks or something else, so they're pretty comprehensive in their price. The only exception to that was the 2 things we did. We went to a temple in Chiang Mai, which was just like we just paid a driver to take us there, which in retrospect I wish we would have paid for an actual tour guide, because I feel like we missed out on a lot of the information in the temple because of it, because obviously none of it was in English. And same thing for the waterfalls, we just paid a guide to take us, or paid a driver, I'm sorry, using the Grab app to take us to the waterfalls in Chiang Mai.
Good morning! We are here at the national park. It's about an hour outside of Chiang Mai. It's called, I don't remember the Tong Waterfall and Shetsi Fountain National Park. I'll definitely put that like better posted up here, but it's pretty like organized and put together in terms of like there's a paved parking lot and like a visitor center and a really good map over there next to Brianna, where she's spraying herself. But we're gonna go ahead and start our hike to the sticky waterfall, and I'm vlogging from my phone because I do not have a waterproof camera. So there's multiple levels you go down, but this is the 4th level down, right? And it's just a viewpoint of the waterfall in the forest. Don't quite know where those stairs go, but we're not gonna risk it today. So down at the 4th waterfall is just like or the 4th platform is just like a viewing spot, so you can't actually get in. But we're going back up to the 3rd waterfall, which should be the first one that we're gonna like actually be able to climb. The last waterfall, like the first one, is the hardest. Because you can tell, like, all that green that you see in there, like, that's not sticky. Like, that is completely algae. So you have to climb the last few through the rope to get out of there. And it can be challenging, it can be tricky. So we made it to the top. Easier here. We did it.
Good? Very good.
Good morning, friends. So we got in late last night into Phuket, and now it's time to do our first day excursion, which we're gonna go in caves and just get kind of like an island sampler. So just had a rushed breakfast at a new resort. I'll show you more later. And let's go in some caves and canoes and islands. We're going into the darkness. Okay, bye.
So much for sticking along this far into this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. The final total is coming right after this, but I just wanted to say that if you wouldn't mind liking this video and also subscribing, I really love this travel content and I'd love to make more if you guys just say the word and I'll make more for you guys.